The U.S. House of Representatives recently passed a bill that would ban TikTok if the Chinese company that owns it refuses to sell it.
Yeah, it's something we've been watching closely. Lawmakers are concerned that the company poses a national security threat, but for more than 170 million American users, a ban could also impact their livelihoods.
Joining us tonight to talk about the potential ramifications are David Darajotis, Chief Insurance Officer with Embroker, as well as Brad Coughlin, founder of snack company Chunk Nibbles. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having us.
So we were talking with you during the break, and you said that your company's been around for a while, but recently TikTok really helped propel it to the next level.
Absolutely. I think TikTok has opened us up to an audience across the country of people that are looking for entertaining, engaging content that suits what they're looking for online. Yeah. So it's been able to elevate our brand and get our brand in front of eyeballs that we've obviously been vying for, but as a small family business in the Metro Detroit area, we don't have $1 million marketing budget in order to pay for all these different placements in stores and everything else. So it's very much been an uphill battle until now.
So it's been a game changer for countless small business owners just like you across the country. David, there's also all of these security concerns that we hear more and more about. Can you kind of briefly sum up what Congress is looking at?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we need to take a look at what is it that we're worried about with all of social media and technology. If you look at some of the other companies that we have right here in the United States, wrongful collection of information, abuse of data, using it for purposes that the consumer didn't know it was being used. Look no further than Amazon Ring, giving up data to law enforcement without warrants. Look no further than pre-owned Elon Musk Twitter, $150 million fine with the FTC, or Meta, Facebook at the time, $5 billion record fine because it was abuse of personal information and privacy of consumers. Those are the things that they're looking at.
And they're concerned, though, that sure, that might be happening in the U.S., but they really don't want that happening with a foreign adversary, as China has been described.
Well, that's exactly it. China has some very unique cybersecurity and privacy laws as it relates to the information and access that they have to companies. So within China, they're able to get access to encrypted data. They have backdoors into companies. You just don't see that here in the United States. They also have access to audit systems and software. And again, it gives them unique access and very intimate access to data that's being collected.
So Brad, there are a lot of social media users who say they prefer TikTok because the algorithm makes it a lot easier for them to get their information out. People can see them without the limitations that we see on other platforms. If we were to see a ban, what would that do to you and your business?
I mean, I think it would be incredibly detrimental, especially with the momentum that we've been picking up as of lately. It would stop us from adding about 8 to 10 jobs in our local community, bringing people in, giving them livable wages and everything else. And I think really the biggest thing is it's a personal choice issue, right? I mean, I think you should be able to use this platform, and I think depending on where your involvement is and what type of sensitive data you might be privy to in your own, I mean, if anybody was tracking me, they'd be very bored with where I'm going and what I'm doing on a daily basis.
Is it fair to say, though, it all seems pretty ephemeral? I mean, a few years ago, none of us knew what TikTok was. Before that, Instagram was the big one. Before that, it was Snapchat and Facebook. It changes so frequently. I mean, what would happen if it were banned? Would you not just move to another social media platform?
I think it's hard to say at this point exactly where it would go and who would purchase it and what they'd be changing. I think that the biggest thing at our current state is the fact that everything is working very well for the small businesses that are on there, and it really is such a useful tool in the small business world right now to reach audiences.
So David, if there were a change in ownership, how could that change the platform itself?
Well, we have to take a look at the social media companies and the large technology companies that already exist in the United States. Are we going to allow the big to get bigger? Do we have to worry about antitrust? As these companies continue to get larger and control more data and have access to more consumers, it makes a monopoly really front and center. We don't have those kinds of options. Look at how large Meta has already grown to at this point. They own multiple platforms, communications. Yeah. We use it for social media and chatting back and forth with people. When is too big too big? I mean, that's the question that we all have to ask.
I mean, Meta already basically gave its own version of Twitter and Snapchat, and shouldn't we just expect it to create a new TikTok? Would you imagine that would happen?
I mean, I think so, and I think really the biggest issue you're going to face is that those social media companies make it very tough on customers like myself to target, advertise, find our right audience, and test out different little things because it's very easy to spend money trying to find your audience. And so it's a real moneymaker for them. So why wouldn't they change the algorithm?
Does it give you pause, or do you get concerned at all when you hear some of these national security concerns about TikTok?
No, it doesn't. I think that really it's on a per user basis. If I worked for the NSA or a top defense contractor in this country, maybe there'd be greater concern. I run a snack company that are delicious, by the way, and really our data, TikTok is doing more to protect user data from someone who's seen it not only on the individual user side, but also on the business user side. We don't even see full information of addresses, names, phone numbers, emails. We don't get any of that data until I print out a shipping label to put on your box that's going to be heading out to your door. So really, truly, I believe they're doing more to protect user data than any of the other platforms out there right now.
Well, thanks so much for coming by and giving us your perspective. This is a story that's not going away anytime soon, and we will be following it closely. David Darajotis with Embroker and Brad Coughlin from Chunk Nibbles. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you.